One of the greatest barriers to our success is the fact that we have too many options. Now, I know that we have worked to get here. We've worked our lives so that we can have options not only for ourselves, but for our kids, for our loved ones. We want them to be able to choose which school to go to, which sports team to be on. We want to be able to decide which car we're going to drive, which house shall we live in this year or this month. Now, options aren't a bad thing, but when it comes to whether or not we decide if we are going to grow, if we are going to get better, if we are going to improve, I believe the world has shown us that we just have too many options. So the challenge today is for us to remove all of the options. Right now, we hear it all the time. If you are an athlete or a sports fan, that failure is not an option, that losing is not an option. But is it? Oftentimes failure or a loss doesn't come or doesn't show up on the list as win, lose, neither of the above. Oftentimes it shows up as wake up early, stay in bed a little bit later, stay in bed later, and go to bed later, right? So we have too many options. And this is where I want to ask you, which options are on your table? Which options do you have in front of you that should not be an option at all? When it comes to your health, is eating breakfast optional or not? Right? Because I believe that the fewer decisions that we have to make on a situational basis, there are some foundational principles, some non negotiable decisions that could and should be made ahead of time. This goes back to the idea that once your values are clear, your decisions are easy. For instance, I have a friend. It is non negotiable. It is no longer an option what time he wakes up and if or what he's going to have for breakfast. So he knows that he's going to wake up at a certain time of the day. He knows exactly what he's going to eat for breakfast. He knows what he's going to wear. And here's what I'm going to tell you, he is wildly successful simply because there are no other options. It's not optional of whether he's going to sleep in or if he's going to eat breakfast or what he's going to wear. Now, I know that the challenge is going to be, well, Neil, doesn't that make me seem hard? Doesn't that make me seem unyielding or unwilling to bend? Yes, it does. But in our history, we've seen that those individuals that have removed the options, where no longer is mediocrity on the table, no longer is less than excellent an option. We've seen them, we know them, we envy them from afar. We watch them on TV or YouTube. We read about them. We go to the movies and look at their stories on big screens. But then we decide to lose. So, what options do you have when it comes to your business? Because really, that's who I'm talking to. In your business, have you decided to lose? Do you have too many options? Am I going into work today or not? Am I going to get fully dressed for the Zoom or am I only going to do business at the top, party at the bottom? Am I going to stick to those standards that I've set for my team? Is it optional whether or not you put yourself on a salary? What about those goals that you had set for this week? If you don't hit them, is it really that bad? As I said, I believe that we have too many options. In our relationships and our daily lives, what time are you starting your day or ending your day? Are you going to build relationship building time into your calendar? Is your date night on Thursday night starting at 7:30? Is that non-negotiable? Every week, rain, sleet, or snow, no matter where you're located, right? Are there options that are on your plate when it comes to your health? Are there options that are on your plate when it comes to your finances of how much am I going to spend? Well, it's just one more click. Well, since I have Prime, it's okay. Or are you removing all of those options? Now, I know that this is the hard but necessary work. I know this is the stuff that makes us seem crazy, that makes us peculiar. It's going to force the world to put a label on you and I and say, there's something different about her, and I'm not sure that I like it. Well, here's why they're not going to like it. A sane person in an insane world will always be made to feel insane. Oftentimes, that when you remove all of your options, when you become so committed to that thing that you're chasing after, the world is going to say, I don't like who she is. I don't like what he's doing. And here's why. It has nothing to do with you and I, if I can be honest with you about that. It has everything to do with the reality that you are shining a light on their inadequacies, that you are making them feel insecure. Coach Prime has said recently and repeatedly, don't let my confidence ignite your insecurities. And so I want to encourage you to remove all of those options. And I want you to clearly know and clearly understand, be able to decipher what the losing option looks like. If it's not a hell yes, then it is a hell no. So losing that option may be disguised as one more drink. Losing may be disguised as 15 more minutes in bed. Losing may be disguised as, well, we can skip this week's date night. Let's remove all of those options. I believe that abundant success is going to be on the other side of the lack of options. I'm not just saying it, I believe it, I'm proof of it. And there are people who are much more successful that have removed all of the options, and we envy them from the front. I want to encourage you today with this, that I love you, God loves you, and there's nothing you can do about it. And until the next time I see you or you see me, don't be average, be world renowned. Peace.